Gibbs said that he was going to bring that up, so I guess Gibbs is wrong.
Well,
but that shows that they know they can't get away with this anymore because people are waking up.
Yeah, things are definitely starting to, I think, crumble around them, which is why I feel like they're, really starting to push things on us. It's coming out, they want to, well, I won't go into all that. I'm save you a lot of time, but, I just wanted to, say that really, he didn't say anything other than anything that I've already heard, and, I wasn't really much surprised.
I wasn't either, Rusty. Good to hear from you. The scary thing is how a lot of the Republican leadership is agreeing, yeah, we got to work together. Yeah, we got to lower the rhetoric because they're worried about the more truly libertarian parts of the Tea Party kicking the rhinos out of office, as we've seen started to happen. So you've really got the Democrats and Republicans to a great extent circling the wagons against the people. The Republicans are scoring some symbolic points like, oh, they repealed government health care in the House, knowing full well that they didn't have it in the Senate. Why don't they start impeachment hearings for unconstitutional activity? Why don't they go after Obama for having all these Goldman Sachs people who are getting bailout money? Well, then they'd have to go after Bush. So, see, they don't want to do that. They don't want to go after him for real issues. Let's talk to Jim in Texas. Jim, you're on the air.
Thanks for letting me express my opinion, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Jim. What's on your mind?
Well, I kind of you took my thunder away there. I was going to say that that's what I got from this speech mostly was a dropping of the facade of the right-left paradigm, and we're seeing, basically them coming out and saying, okay, now we're unified, which is what your listeners have known for a long time, that it's a fraud. The right-left paradigm is just it's a puppet show. Secondly, Alex, I'd like to suggest, I love your show, listen to it every day. Suggest maybe that you, or if you didn't feel comfortable, maybe you could get Lindsey Williams or somebody else to do a daily prayer, because this is really a spiritual battle, and at its core, we're talking about a satanic cult that these people are, and I think you would agree with that statement, as wacky as it may sound.
Well, even if you're an atheist and don't believe in a physical Satan, I mean, killing 1 million Iraqis, putting sodium fluoride in the water, naked body scanning, everything that's happening is devilish by every archetypal yardstick. So, I mean, these people act and behave like sadomasochistic psychopaths, and they are. And we know government throughout history gives us Hitlers and Maos and Stalins, and it's happening again by this political ruling class that runs through major political parties globally who are in there in control of the tax money, giving it to their corporate bosses that fund them. But absolutely, I know God's real. I don't, quote, believe in God. I know there's a creator, and I have a personal relationship with that creator, and I love liberty and life, and that's the side I choose, is life and the truth. Doesn't mean I'm perfect or on some high horse either. But I think people should privately pray every day, and even if you don't believe in God, try to sit down and just quietly think. And I don't mean meditate in the yogi way, but or like a Buddhist, but I mean, just sit quietly and really get to that still place and think about the things that are happening. They don't want you to recognize tyranny. They want to laugh. I mean, could you believe that? Laughing at Jesse Ventura and saying there's no search that's unreasonable, and lying and saying that they only pat you down if you don't go through the scanners. I mean, and laughing at him. I mean, it was purely demonic.
Well, I agree with you, and the more I have learned, the less I really watch TV, because it's totally a mind control device, and you see it in everything from the local news broadcasting to the TV actual shows. It's written into the shows. And, these little people on the View and all these other programs we're talking about, they're basically cheerleaders. The only thing they're missing is their pom-poms with the corporate logos on them.
That's it, brother. Good to hear from you, Jim. We got a guest coming up for one segment, then I'll continue with calls. I'm going to get into this huge birth certificate development, the biggest yet. It's up at prisonplanet.com right now. We're going to continue breaking down the State of the Union straight ahead. Stay with us. I'm going to play that View clip again, though, when we come back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com. A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Alex told you the government announced recently that the recession is over. It ended on June of 2009. The millions of Americans unable to find work might not agree. Perhaps the recession ended for the bankers and government employees, but for the rest of us, things seem to be getting worse. Gold and silver haven't heard the news either. They've begun their long-expected journey to the moon. In addition to converting your shrinking dollars into gold and silver, you should consider a food savings account from eFoods Direct. They both make fabulous investments. Food is our greatest dependency, and we know it will be more precious than any financial resource. You and your family need food to survive a crisis, and you can't eat paper, stocks, or metals. Alex has been urging you to invest in delicious, easy-fix meals to enjoy now or save for long-term. This will freeze the cost of your food while you can still afford it. Visit efoodsdirect.com on the internet or call 800-409-5633. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633.
You are listening to an Infowars.com frontline report. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. From deep in the heart of FEMA Region 6, Austin, Texas, transmitting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
We are going to continue with your phone calls after our guest leaves us here in about 18 minutes from now. And then I'm going to, next hour, get into the incredible cherry on top. We're now 99.9% assured that Obama was not born in the state of Hawaii like he claimed. And we now have this from an interview the governor gave and then an interview he gave to another well-known reporter who's known him for decades that, yeah, he can't find anything. Not just the certificate, nothing. So that's coming up in the next hour. And what is the constitutional ramifications of this? Or is this some stunt where the governor's claiming all this and they're going to produce it later? It's some type of political score to make all of the anti-Obama stuff going on rest on this birth certificate instead of the gun grabbing, the open borders, the carbon taxes, the government health care, the overspending. Is this some type of scam? I don't know. But they're sure trying to act like he's guilty of lying about where he was born. And we've got his wife obviously saying that he goes back to his homeland where he was born in Kenya. We've got his grandmother saying it. I mean, this is a big deal. This is a big, big, big deal. And we're going to be covering that coming up in the next hour after we take some more of your calls. But I wanted to get to this subject before we talk to Lloyd Chapman, the founder of American Small Business League, to get his take on the State of the Union briefly last night, ASBL.com. We played The View attacking Jesse Ventura earlier in the last hour, and there's a statement in there by one of the women. I don't know, what's the blonde's name? I don't watch the show. What's the blonde's name? None of us know. I'm kind of proud that our office, no one knows her name. But she says, well, you don't have to go through the pat down, which includes hands going in the pants sometimes or squeezing genitals, if you go through the scanner. That's not true. They do scanner and pat down, scanner or only pat down. They admit they want to phase it all in. I've witnessed this myself, and Rob Dew and Aaron Dyke shot video of this. So I'm going to play that brief clip from The View and then show you our video of people coming out of the scanners and then having the rape downs done to them. Here it is.
That's different.
Agreed, but you know what? You only get a pat down if you deny the scan. Okay, if you deny them the right to scan,
I want to know what happens when you sue Homeland Security.
And then there she goes, Barbara Walters, I do know her name. Then she goes on to imply that it's crazy to be able to sue the government. Oh, I guess they're just unaccountable. They're like God on Mount Olympus. They can do whatever they want. Now, I'm going to show you some video. If you're a radio listener, obviously this will be archived later at prisonplanet.tv, and then on YouTube you'll be able to watch it. But I'm going to play some video in the background of people coming out of the scanners, and after they go through the scanners, they are then brought over and they are patted down. So they do whole variants of this. Their threat is, if you don't do the scanners, we're going to do the pat down. But you know, there she is now directing people over to be further searched. The guy's waiting. You just saw the guy in the shirt be sent through. He's now waiting to be patted down. And now there is the TSA worker beginning the pat down on him. We got a whole bunch of this footage. And then here comes another person through the scanner, now being sent over to secondary screening. And there it is, see him being patted down. There you go, okay? And they plan to phase it in everywhere, and the TSA has said they plan to make it mandatory for everyone. Chicago Tribune 6 months ago, and we have the El Paso Times, after we were told by listeners, a pilot, that everyone in El Paso is being forced through them last year, everyone, through the scanners. Then we searched it and found the El Paso Times reporting on it. So there you go, View, and I could go through every second of that minute-and-a-half clip. Everything they say is a fraud, including two of the women sitting there falling over each other in the script to say there is no such thing as an unreasonable search. And this isn't an unreasonable search. There's no such thing as one. You can go watch the video in the archive, what we played earlier. I don't even know these women's name except for the Barbara Walters. Okay, shifting gears now back into the State of the Union. Here's their statement on it. Obama's State of the Union addresses historic Obama's State of the Union addresses highlights rhetoric without action. And joining us to cover it is Mr. Lloyd Chapman, founder of American Small Business League, with hundreds of thousands of members out there defending American small business. Sir, give us your take on the State of the Union.
Oh, it was Obama sitting there reading a speech that was written for him, reading off a teleprompter, as you could tell. That's when you see him looking left and right. He's reading off the teleprompter. He practiced it, earlier that day, and he's just like an actor reading his lines in a movie. And it's what I call Washington political theater. You know, them standing up and applauding the whole thing. It's choreographed, and it's just those aren't his words. Those are words that someone wrote for him, and those aren't his thoughts or his feelings. That's just what the speech writing people thought, would improve his ratings. And quite frankly, I don't believe a thing that Obama says, to tell you the truth. He's just lied so many times. And quite frankly, remember, I endorsed him. I campaigned for him. He put my endorsement on the front page of his website. So he's broken, as far as I know, every single campaign promise that he made. So really nothing that he says really has much credibility with me. And he also, I have to say, just lied talking about the